Hey, this is Eamon. So in this video, I want to talk to you about the most important Facebook ad metrics for your painting campaigns. And by metrics, I obviously mean the numbers inside the Facebook Ads Manager. So this is kind of a technical video. So the most important metric, generally, is the cost per lead. That's the first metric you want to look at. And you only want to look at the things I talk about in this video if you're not happy with that, if you're not happy with your cost per lead. So you can try to figure out why that might be, okay? So you want to keep in mind one thing as I'm talking about this. Like I said, it's a technical video. But you also want to keep in mind that the reason for underperforming ads might have nothing to do with the ads manager. It might not be anything that you can see there. It could be something more basic, like with the messaging in your ads, okay? Maybe the message in your ads just isn't resonating with people. Maybe it's too broad. I made a video called How to Write Facebook Ads for Painting Services Using AI, and I gave some ad copy templates, which are in the description of that video and of this video as well in top comment. And I said in the video that those ad copy templates, and if you don't know what ad copy is, it's what the ad actually says, it's the writing on the ad. And I said that that ad copy is pretty basic, it doesn't like speak to a specific person, but it's enough to get you started. So you might get to a point in your market where that kind of messaging just isn't cutting it. And I actually gave an example in that video of, maybe speaking to a specific customer avatar. So maybe that could be the problem. So keep that in mind. And I recommend you watch that video. And when it comes to messaging and like how to talk about your company, I also made another video called How to Market Your Painting Business. I recommend that you give that a watch as well. And I've just been caught using the same thumbnail for 2 videos. Anyway, now this is a campaign that I set up a few days ago, and it hasn't spent much, as you can see, only $157, and it's brought in 3 leads. So the thing I want you to pay attention to here is the metrics up here that I've got. This is what I want to talk about. First, let me explain these, and then I'm going to talk about the 2 that you need to really pay attention to after the cost per lead or the cost per result. And by the way, the metrics that you have in your account are probably going to be a bit different than these, or at least the order. You can find videos on YouTube showing how to do this, but you just click on columns here, and then you can just rearrange it. Now, this one specifically, form conversion, that's a custom metric that I made, and that just shows me how many people, like what percentage of people are filling out the form. And again, there's videos on that, how to create custom metrics inside Facebook. I'm not going to go into that right now just because it's too technical. But like I said, it just gives me as a percentage. So for example, if 100 people saw the form, then only 6.82% of them, 6.82 of them filled out the form. So that's what that metric means. Let me explain these. So reach, this means how many account center accounts you've reached. So how many different people, how many different Facebook accounts saw your ads, okay, saw your campaign, like the ads in that campaign. That's what reach is. And impressions means how many times that those people saw your ads. So somebody could be scrolling and they see your ad and they scroll past it a bit and they're like, wait, let me go back to that. And they see it again. So something like that, that counts as 2 impressions. So what this means is 3,867 people saw my ads 6,357 times. And if you divide this number by this number, that gives you the frequency. I've got a frequency of 1.64. Okay, so that gives me an idea of how many times people are seeing my ads. Like how many times the average, like one account is seeing my ads. They're seeing them an average of 1.64 times. And if that number gets too high, then I'm going to get what's called creative fatigue. Basically, that just means that people are sick of seeing my ads. So I need to go and make new ads, okay? Because people are now recognizing them as they see them, and they're just scrolling right past them. And when that happens, when the frequency gets too high, usually around 1.8 to 2.5, maybe sometimes a bit higher, people can see it a bit more than that before they get sick of it. But around that time, your results are going to suffer. So keep an eye on the frequency. And the amount spent, obviously, that tells you how much the campaign has spent in the time period that you've chosen, which you can choose up here. And the results, that means how many leads it's gotten. And the cost per result is obviously the amount spent divided by the results. That means that each of these leads costs 52.46. And this metric here called CTR, link click-through rate. Like I said, you can find this in here when you go to columns. Now what that means is, what percentage of people are clicking and opening the form? That's what link click-through rate means. That's what the link is. So they're clicking and they're opening the form. So 0.69% of impressions are clicking and opening the form. And that translates to 44. So I got 44 link clicks out of 6,357 impressions, or 3,867 people. That's what that means. So link clicks, that's just the raw number. And this, like I said, it's the percentage. And the form conversion I've already spoken about. Out of everybody that opens the form, how many are completing the form? And the click-through rate all, now that's different from the link click-through rate, because what it's including in all is any kind of click that can happen around my ad. So somebody clicks see more. So if you're on Facebook and you see this in ads, if there's a lot of copy, you'll see like the first 2 lines, and then you have to click see more to see the rest of it. So that counts as a click, and that's included in CTR all. It's not included in link click-through rate. Like I said, that's just to open the form. But like clicking to see more, clicking on the account to go to the company's Facebook page, that counts as a click. Clicking to open the comments, clicking to see who liked the ad, that's all included in CTR all. And that's shown as a percentage, 1.45%. Okay, so that's what that means. Now it's just good to know these things because, like I said, you should know what's going on in your ads manager if you're doing this stuff yourself. Now once you have enough data, and again, like I said, the most important number was the cost per result. But if you're not happy with that, then take a look at your link click-through rate. You want that to be above 1%, and this is only once you have enough data. Now, as you can see here, I only had the campaign running for like 2 or 3 days at this point, and it's only been shown to 3,867 people. Okay, that's nothing. That's nothing to like make any judgments on. You want to leave it running longer than that. But once you have enough data, and like I said, you're not happy with your cost per lead, now you can start looking at these two. So the link click-through rate, how often people are opening the form, that should be above 1%. And if it's not, it means that you've got a low-quality creative that doesn't grab attention in the first place. So people are just scrolling past your ad. That's one reason it could be low. Or maybe you've got a bad offer. People don't really understand what they're getting. There's no curiosity or urgency that you're creating with your ad or in your offer. Like, we're booking up spots for spring season with priority for the first 10 people. You're not doing any of that. So there's no urgency, no curiosity. There's no reason to click. Or maybe you've just got a weak headline or call to action. Your call to action should be very clear what you want people to do. So get your estimate today, secure your spot on our calendar. Or, if you're running some kind of like financing offer, paint now, pay later, something like that. Even that last one, maybe that's a bit too cute. Maybe you should just keep it as, click to get your free quote today, something like that. So that's your link click-through rate. And your form conversion rate, you want that to be above 10%. Again, this is all if your cost per lead isn't good. If you're happy with the cost per lead, and obviously you're happy with the quality of leads on the back end, then you don't need to worry about any of this. But if your form conversion rate is below 10%, the reason for that could be an unclear or a weak offer. So there's not enough value for people to part with their info. They don't see why they should, or they don't know what they get in return. They don't really understand what's going on, what you're offering. That's a problem. So that could lead people to open the form and they don't understand why they should even fill it out, and then they just leave it. So they click on the form and then they exit and continue scrolling. That's not what you want. A second reason for that could be message mismatch. Maybe the ad says one thing, so the ad is talking about one thing. For example, maybe in the ad you're talking about free color consultation or financing. Then they open the form and you're not saying that in the form headline or in the little bit of text that comes after it. So that's a problem. When people see that, they just get kind of a bad feeling because things aren't lining up. It kind of feels like a bait and switch for them, so people are just going to bounce. And the third reason could be that maybe your form is too long, or maybe you're asking for too much information. I've spoken a bit more about this, about how to get high quality leads if you're having a lead quality issue. And one of the things I mentioned is by having more questions, so asking people for more information. Now that can be good, but you don't want to ask too many to the point where it puts people off, or they're thinking, is this an estimate or is it something more serious? So you don't want to do that. You want to ask too many questions, and you want to maintain a balance between lead quality and lead quantity. Because if you make the form too long, you are going to get leads, but they're not going to be a lot, and they're going to be really expensive. Now, sure, the quality is going to be great, but still, it might not, the math might not work out for you. So you need to play around with that. But like I said, if it's too long, you're asking for too much information, then people are just going to bounce. They're going to open the form and just get out. They're like, what is all this? Now, when it comes to actually finding winning Facebook ads, I've made a video called how to test your Facebook ads, and I've got a process there that you should follow, and that works really great, okay? But if you start having more advanced issues, that process is not cutting it, then like I said, I recommend you go and you take a look at these two metrics, okay? But generally, just start off with the process I talk about in this video, where the most important thing that I talk about there is the cost per lead, okay? So again, it's the cost per lead, and then you look at other metrics, because the cost per lead is the most important. Alright, that's pretty much everything I've got for this video. Hope you found it useful. If you have any questions, you can leave them for me in the comments and I'll get back to you. And if you're looking to get more estimates for your painting business, they can go to my website to get in touch with me and we'll have a conversation. But other than that, thanks for watching.